chaotic creative life. So my husband, Richard Robb, and I have Richard Robb Architects in Greenock. We have Clan Charters Yacht Charter at Kip Marina, and Kilfinnan House, which is a luxury self-catering property over in Argyll. But I really want to talk to you tonight about InCube, which is my full-time job. I'm an economic development coordinator up at InCube in Paisley. So we are a kind of one-stop shop, if you like, for startup, enterprise and self-employment. And we host business gateway services, digital boost and Prince's Trust. And really we're open to anybody, and it's all about creating an energy around Paisley High Street and making Paisley a centre for excellence for design and creativity. We are funded through Renfrewshire Council, and we are part of the economic strategy of Renfrewshire. The council have identified creative industries as one of the priority sectors, which is fantastic. And so we're really about creating a lot of energy around the high street, a lot of buzz and a centre for design excellence. So our InCube Creative Programme is aimed at product-based designers, makers, and they come to us for up to 6 months, 1 or 2 days a week. And we cover a whole host of things. We offer them funding, incubator hub space, hot desking, free access to chamber membership, and a whole variety of masterclasses and workshops. Now, the masterclasses are around branding, social media, marketing, and it's really about recognising there's so many talented creatives out there, but no one is born knowing how to run a business. So we try and work with them to help them develop their business skills to create viable businesses. How many of you love sitting down and doing planning? No hand? No, none at all? We sit down with all our businesses every month and do some mapping, monthly activity planning, and that's about identifying their priority targets for that month, setting action plans and agreeing targets for them. And then that's really about saying to them, do you know what, if you want to change your business, you have to change the way you're doing things. Our InCube Inspirers come in and talk to our businesses about their own startup journey. A lot of you might recognise Gary Ennis there. And that is really because a lot of our businesses feel lack of confidence and they can feel quite isolated. So we really want them to know that there are other people out there who've been through the same journey as them. Decision making can be a biggie. Creative people just love to create, don't they? They just want to make stuff. So actually getting them to make decisions about where they want to be, setting their vision for 6 months ahead, a year ahead, 5 years ahead, can be really tricky. So we give them tools and techniques to help them make those crucial decisions that are going to drive their business forward. Cash flow. Startup businesses don't have any money. So our InCube shop, which is just next to Paisley Gilmore Street Station, go and pay it a visit, sells all the products of all our designers without taking any commission. So that's a really fabulous head start for them and start to generate a bit of cash flow and get feedback from customers to inform their product development. Isolation, again, is something that challenges a lot of startup businesses. So as part of what we do, we really encourage them to join a wide network. So it could be Cultural Enterprise Office in Glasgow. We take a stand at Scotland's Trade Fair so that they can display their goods. So we really try and encourage them to develop their own resources. Websites is a biggie. For startup businesses, establishing credibility and having a platform to sell their goods is crucial. So we've just piloted a website in a day course for all our businesses. So at the end of it, they end up with this big shiny website and a platform to sell on and a way of promoting their brand to the wider public. All these plans are great, but we all know how plans go. So what you think is going to happen is often not what actually happens. And that can be really stressful for the businesses where maybe they're having ups and downs, they don't know what they're going to do next, they're having trouble with their decision making. So a really stressful, challenging time. So to try and counteract that, I've recently set up Creative Toolkit with the lovely Marion Morrison, who's sitting over there. You're hearing from her later tonight. And that is around giving them some tools and techniques for developing resilience and being able to be persistent in their business, both on an emotional level and a business level. So again, it's about helping them to create a sustainable business going forward. This is the lovely Marion Syed, one of our weavers. Marion, when she first came to us, wouldn't say boo to a goose. She had no confidence. She created beautiful woven products. And by the time she left, she was negotiating deals with weaving manufacturers, textile manufacturers down south, and had been paid by the British Council to travel to China 2 years running to do some research. This year, for the first time, we're running a creative crafts trail. So as part of our Small Shop Festival in July, all our businesses are running free workshops, free entry to the public, and that's covering the whole things like brooch making, weaving, etc. And again, it's helping them to raise their profile, and it's about creating a buzz around the town centre. We like to engage with the community, so these are Strathclyde Uni architecture students who had done a vision of Paisley, and we invited them to exhibit at InCube. So they were thrilled to do that. It gave them a public venue. We invited in a group called Forever Young, average age about 76, and they were able to give them feedback on that too. We like to collaborate with our partners. So with Strathclyde University, we agreed that they would run an art exhibition for one of our artists, Dominica. Dominica is a huge Madonna fan. When Madonna played in Glasgow a couple of years back, Dominica painted a portrait of her, gifted it to her, and it's currently Madonna's home in the US. Huge result for her. The Scottish Album of the Year Awards, again, one of our partners, has been held in Paisley for the last 2 years. So we ran a limited design competition with them where all our InCubees had the opportunity to design the awards that were actually given to the 10 winning artists on the night of the SAY Awards. Looking forward, later this year we're creating Startup Street, which is a rent subsidy startup incubator for creatives or any startup business. We're also looking at setting up a range of creative studios themed around textiles, crafts, pottery, and again with subsidised rents, and we're hoping to launch those later this year. And a cute dog slide. Anyone who knows me knows we couldn't do without a cute dog slide. I genuinely believe that we can learn a lot from dogs as creative people. It's about learning to live in the moment, about creating an energy around you, about learning to play and have fun with your creativity, and most of all, it's actually about surrounding yourself with people who love you and can support you, and that's what InCube is all about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. So, in terms of Business Gateway, you know there'll be a Business Gateway in Inverclyde who can support you with one-to-one advice. But any of the workshops across any of the Business Gateway centres in Scotland, you can attend. So if you were to look up their programme of events and see a workshop that you really fancied, maybe about video production or e-commerce or about blogging, and it's another area, anyone can attend that free. So absolutely yes, and our own master classes are free to anyone to attend, and they're run by a lady called Fiona Shotard, who is our kind of expert in her field. And of course the Creative Toolkit workshops with Marion, very, very popular and very successful.
One question in the way at the back.
Musicians? We tend to be product based, but there's a lot of other organisations in Paisley who are predominantly around music and drama. So we wouldn't necessarily be able to support you directly, but we could point you in the direction. And again, if any of the workshops, the master classes were of interest, you'd be absolutely free to attend those.
Robbie, thank you very much. And a round of applause for Cindy, please.